I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. I'm better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah.
Hey guys, I guess you've seen my new intro now. I'm super happy about that. Today you're just gonna see my hands. I don't know if I sound very sick to you guys, but I have not been feeling well. I'm on medicine right now, so I probably sound a lot better. But trust me, I felt awful earlier today. Like, seriously, my stomach was upset. No, it was terrible. If you haven't seen my latest speed draw, which I actually have already recorded today, this is the outcome of that. I forgot to actually keep it on screen. But I was very proud of this. Anyway, so today I'm just going to be explaining my style. Yeah. So basically, a lot of people have told me or asked me, how is my art so good? And I have one answer, and I know people say this all the time, but literally, practice. I have gained my style through 3 years of working, and it has taken me forever to get this far. And it has taken me a very, very long time. Siblings have to babysit, basically. So I have worked for 3 years, I think. Yeah, 3 years. No? Wait. Yes? Yes. Either 3 or 4 years, either one, I don't remember exactly. I think I started drawing wolves in like 4th grade, but I was still drawing before that, and, basically, I'll show you what my style basically was whenever I was younger. I always said to start with the nose for some reason, which now you can tell I always start with the ears. And it's actually the same reason of why I actually do my ears first for the nose, which was to make it fit in with your character. And you can tell how my style has changed. So basically, this was my style, and it was not very good, I must say. It wasn't the best, but people have said that it was better than theirs. But now you can see how I have added more fluff. I've made the thing more... Wait, is my... Yeah, I have no more lead. Yeah. Okay, so I have now made my drawings more soft. It's not that weird like devil horns. I've kind of made them look down a little bit more. And I do my noses completely differently than what I used to, and same with the eyes. They're just completely different from what they used to be. Instead of even like 3 eyelashes, I now do 5. You can see that consistently throughout my drawings. The only difference is between the guys, which don't have any eyelashes. But they still have some sort of eye outline. But you can see how, more, like, easily I've been able to, just get into my style a lot more. It's a lot easier to do mine now. And you might have seen that on this picture, I was working with different ear designs. So you can see that I have some fluff, but it's mainly just to make that part look just more fluffy. And you can also see that I was working on shading throughout this drawing. I was working with shading a lot. I can tell a lot more than you guys can. It's because this light, it's really bright and it goes back to the camera. But I was actually working on shading a lot, but I was also really trying to work on that ear design because that's one of the things that I've been trying to get better at. I've done a ton of different snouts. Yes, I don't quite know which one to do. I don't know whether to do this versus this. This one's honestly easier to draw, and I'll probably animate like that. But whenever doing speed paints, I might do something more like this. I really don't know which one to use, but I think that this one's going to be my main one for animating. Just for the fact that a lot like the anime, like how they kind of like, they don't really move their chins very much. I can make a lot more expressions out of this. Versus this, I have to move the chin and I can't just, erase and then add a new expression. It's a thing where you actually have to get rid of the whole snout, or at least most of the snout, to be able to get it to work. So, like, in this one, it would take something like that to make an open mouth. Versus on this one, it would take me redrawing the whole thing in a different way. And that's going to be really hard to animate. So I'm probably only going to use this type in speed paints versus animation, because this one's a lot easier and quicker to do through animation. It's not any quicker to do drawing-wise, but it is a lot easier in animation. Now, a thing that I've been doing lately is I've actually been doing more with my graphic tablet. And by the way, if you wanted to see my graphic tablet, this is it. It's just a really simple little thing. This is the pen for it, and it's kind of old, so I don't even know if you can still get this. I think you can. I've seen it online before, but I don't know if you can actually still get them in stores, because this one, I think, is about maybe 5 years old. 5 or 4 at least. And it was actually passed down to me by my mom because she doesn't really use it anymore since she was doing graphic designing work, and this is what she used to use. But then after she doesn't have a job anymore, not because she got fired or anything, she just found it just not useful. Could you stop? Be quiet. My sibling is just rolling around on the floor. I also like to use this little toaster. It's really cute. I like to erase with it in real life drawings. It's just a little cute little toaster, and I like it. Anyway, going off supplies here. I've also been using these oil pastels in the paint in this. I nearly called it a painting. This is not paint, guys. It might have looked like I was using a paintbrush, but that's actually Copic markers, if you guys don't know what that is. Copic markers, basically, they're these little markers that have a brush tip, like you see in this. Let me show you what that is right there. By the way, that's a birthmark, not a mole. Everyone thinks it's a mole, but it's actually a birthmark that I have. But you can see that there is a brush tip, and it does press down, just like you see here. And it actually gives out a lot of ink in Copic markers. And this is actually a very high quality thing. Not to brag, but I have a lot of these. And they're $7 for each marker. Most of them I got from my grandmother. By the way, if you're watching this, thank you so much. But this is how many I have. I don't know how many, but each one of these, not each one of like the groups of colors, but each one of these markers, this is $7 right here. It's crazy. So if you're looking for Copic markers, just keep that in mind. And same with the paper and the multi-liners. I also use Prismacolor multi-liners, but I also use the Copic ones. I really can't decide on which one I like more. I think I like the Copic one because it is more familiar to me, versus this one, it kind of feels weird, while this one kind of feels more like a pencil, and it's just more comfortable. Those are the main things that I use, but occasionally I will use other things, like I will go and search for fonts and other things like that, and I also randomly use different tactics, like using mechanical pencils versus normal pencils. You might have noticed that in this I was actually using my mechanical pencil, that it's actually this one that I was using. But the reason why I like mechanical pencils more is just because I don't have to be on screen trying to sharpen the pencil. Because we all know how much pencil I would have used in this. I probably might have need to sharpen my pencil. I'm not quite sure if I would have exactly needed to quite yet, but I like my pencils really sharp, and that's why I use mechanical pencils. Because it always seems like it's just really sharp, and I like sharpness. And I like to keep my lines thin and very, what's the word? I like to keep them very thin and very sharp, like to where the fact that you can really see them really well versus being dull. But those are my main supplies that I use. Occasionally I'll use random things like colored pencils, dropping my Copic markers while trying to put them up on my shelf. I'll occasionally use colored pencils. I don't quite know what each of these brands are. I will use Crayola, I will use Prismacolor, I will basically find any colored pencils that I can find to be able to make a picture, but here are all my random colored pencils that I have, and by the way, these are not all of them. I know, that's a crazy fact, but these are not all of my colored pencils. This is nowhere near all of my colored pencils. I don't have any Prismacolors in here. I don't have all my school pencils in here. Guys, this is just colored pencils, and these are not all of them. It's crazy. I'll also occasionally use Sharpies. I have these little, I don't remember what things they are. Platinum. I don't know if that's the actual brand. I don't know how to speak. I don't know if that's the actual brand, but there is Platinum. I will occasionally use these, mainly because they are a thinner marker. In case I want to do details, you can see that they are very thin. They're actually a lot like multi-liners, just they're colored. Here, let me actually look on the case, because I actually still have it. That's what my Copic markers sit on. But here is the actual, like, little case for them. Yeah, it's Platinum Art Supplies, right there, if you can see that. But, see, they're fine liner pens. I did not look at these, so evidently that's what they are. But I really do find them really good for details. I honestly don't use much other than the multi-liners, the Copic markers, and this over here. I used to use a lot more colored pencils, but now I've moved to more higher quality items since I'm not very good at coloring with colored pencils. It ends up being super light, and let's just say that I cannot go into one direction. So, no references. No bans are allowed to be spoken. But the way that Copic markers work, and I can even show you this, it makes it a lot, if you move it around in a circle, like this, you can actually get very, just, like, very vibrant color, and it just is, like, it's really sharp, and it doesn't just, like, in this one I was hurrying up, is hurrying up a word or a phrase or whatever, but here I was being really quick with it, and I did that, but that's not what I was supposed to do. Versus colored pencils, if I will grab them real quick, you can see that it's very light, especially for me. I guess this is erasable, so I can't do very well with those. But you can see that they're much lighter. I cannot move into one direction. Like, I can't move, like, straight up and down. I have to move in a curve, and it's always away from my hand. And so it ends up becoming super weird whenever, getting to a different color or trying to get to outlines, because then I'll be like, no, I must get around this. Wait, what is my pencil doing? And then I just end up, like, totally making a fool of myself because of that. I can even show you, if I can find my, portfolio. By the way, this is what my portfolio looks like now. Yay! But you can see in my older drawings that I use a lot of colored pencils and that I could not get them into one direction. Like right here it's going this way, right here it's going this way. Yeah, I cannot get it into one direction. Even on the fur, it's going this way, and then it's going this way. I could not stay in one direction. And that's one of the reasons why I use more of Copic markers now. And I try to spend more time on shading and things, but it's really hard, guys. Being an artist is hard. Especially whenever you can't draw eyes. Like, especially, like, in between frames, whenever animating, it's just like... Wait a second, that's shorter. Wait, no, I can't have that bump. Wait, I just realized I haven't been making these close enough. No, I give up. So if you're, like, wanting to animate, by the way, you have to go in through this pain. But, anyway, you can see my amazing toaster eraser in action. Right there. Look at my toaster. I have been using this round paper lately, and it's actually not blank. It's actually this that I'm drawing on the back of it. And my main reason for this is because the ones that I do in real life, I kind of want to hang up, and I feel like these look very nice. There's my amazing taco from my drawing video. But in these, I want to use this kind of paper. Also, I didn't want to go downstairs and get the actual Copic paper. And sadly, I know that it is bad for the Copic markers. Why am I making huge spaces in between my words? Or even my syllables. Blah, I don't know how to speak. But I have a lot of random art supplies that I don't use very much. Like these little colored pens and these things. I don't know what they are. Random highlighters. Just a lot of random stuff that I don't use very often. And I even have these really good watercolors, but I've never used them. There's some origami paper up here, in case you wanted to know. Because that's an interesting fact about me. I can do origami. Slightly. I can do paper cups. That's like the only thing I really know how to do. Here, I'll make a paper cup for you. Or I can make it into a paper airplane, but who cares? My teacher actually once got mad at me in class for giving them a origami paper. And they said, "Did you do this in class?" And I'm like, yes. And they're like, "Why did you do it during my class?" And I'm like, it was in my free time. And they just look at me like, oh. But I can do paper cups. And it's actually from my elementary school. They taught us how to do a little bit of origami. They said that they would be teaching us, like, just origami, but it ended up becoming just a paper cup, and that's it. But I do have actual origami paper, so, That was kind of random. Just tiny little story. If you're also wondering how I sometimes get anatomy, or at least try to get anatomy right, here is my amazing statue. Of course, it's dabbing. Stop dabbing now. I don't think that's how arms work. Okay, fix your arm now and look dead. Yes, look very dead. And here's my cat reference little statue. Could your neck not be broken, please? Thank you. But these are my two statues that I occasionally use for reference. Not very often, especially with the cat. I don't use it very often. But sometimes with the positioning of the legs, I will use it for reference. And I don't use this one very often still, too. But I occasionally use it just because it's fun. I'm actually kind of thinking of making just like a stick figure character. I forget the two names, but there are the two stick figure characters that appeared in my Snowy Has Anger Issues video. There will be a card up there to that. This video's getting sort of long. I mean, not very. It's only 22 minutes long. Yeah. Also, I've kind of collected a horde of cheetahs. This is not even all of them. I know I have only 3 showing you, but I have, like 2 more actual figures, and then a plushie, and then I also have a Snuggie, and then I also have a bunch of stuffed animals. And I know I already said I had 1 plushie, but I think I actually have like 3 or 4. But I have gained quite the collection of cheetah stuff. You know why? Just because I'm Super Cheetah. Duh. Also, I've always liked the cheetah pattern, believe it or not. I've always loved it. But I've always actually loved cheetahs, but mainly just because they can run really fast. It's never been because of their design, but you can tell more in my videos that I have become a lot more cheetah-based in my channel versus wolf-based. So, yeah, I guess that's gonna be all for my video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye. Hey, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That was not her, by the way.